Hey Legionnaires, and welcome back. We're here with another NTW 3 battle for you today, and this is a glorious 4v4 custom battle. As you can see, the Rhineland here moving towards the front lines with their pristine white uniforms. They look glorious, they really do. But yes, we have some interesting nations here today. We don't often see Confederation of the Rhine, I feel. Should see a little bit more of them, but we also have their German allies and German counterparts, Westphalia here, which is going to be interesting to see them in action. Never see this faction in action. We also have Poland here. Always nice to see Poland on the battlefield with all their cavalry. And we also have Italian France here. So yeah, like 1800 France. And they look like they've routed a tiny little unit of infantry of some sort here. It must be like a skirmisher or guerrilla sort of unit sent by the Ottomans. So yes, that is one of the enemy factions that they are facing today, it would seem. And it looks like we're about to see. Looked like they were about to see some sort of conflict there. But yes, we also have 1815 Britain. We have the Ottomans, like I said. We have Sweden, and we have the Netherlands. So they are the allied forces here today, trying to stop the French and their German allies. But yes, this is a replay sent in by a member of my Discord. It was actually sent in by Kingston, who is also a fellow Total War YouTuber. He does a lot of NTW3, as we have some Rhineland cavalry going in here against some 1815 King's German Legion Hussars. That's Garde du Corps Rhineland have just sent in there. So it's a really elite cavalry unit. They just routed that unit. Now we have the Ottomans, I think, with some infantry here just trying to fire onto these Garde du Corps. But yes, Kingston does a lot of NTW3 himself on his channel. I'll leave a link to his channel in the description. So if he's setting this one in, it's got to be a good one. We've got some Chevaliers there routing some light dragoons. These light dragoons just getting overwhelmed. Britain's cavalry just kind of being caught out very easily. And now they're going in for a gun. Look at this. And they're probably going to take out this gun. What was it? A 6-pounder, I think. Yeah, 6-pounder. And that looks like it's gone. They've routed, but they've routed the gun as well. So that's huge. I mean, the 1815 Britain still has some pretty decent cavalry, some dragoon guards, which are now getting shot by their own side here. But yeah, it looks like Britain's going to take up position inside this village here. He's still got a lot of light dragoons over here. King's German Legion. Yeah, he's still got a fair amount. France is facing the Ottomans, and the Ottomans often have a lot of cavalry as well. Looks like these two had some sort of a clash, or nearly had a clash here. So that'll be interesting. And obviously Poland has a lot of cavalry as well. Be interested to see how they can deal with a much more infantry-based Swedish army, which is what we've got here. Got light infantry here, I believe. Haven't seen Sweden in ages in a battle, and it's great to have them back. It used to be at one point they were literally in every single video I did, and now they're never in it. Now they're never in it. I mean, the Ottomans got assets all over the place. They've got guns over here. They're fighting the French all the way over on the far side. Seems a bit bizarre. I mean, this is a howitzer they've set up here. I mean, it isn't really the. I mean, I guess it's the howitzer could be set up to prepare against Westphalia, but there's literally no one here for the howitzer to fire unless it fires like the Polish. But I don't think it will. Seems a bit of a waste to put it there. Here we go. We've got some light infantry here now. Some Jaegers, some Nassau Jaegers here for the Confederation of the Rhine firing. This is actually going to be quite interesting because Rhineland here is obviously Confederation of the Rhine, where all the Germanic and some of the Belgian units are fighting on one side, and like the Nassaus, for instance, like we just saw there, and the Netherlands will also have Nassau units, so there'll be Nassau fighting Nassau. A small little bit of history and a little bit of a fact there. We have obviously this is a very late period Holland or Netherlands faction, I should say. It's literally the Waterloo faction. I don't know if they're going to be able to beat the French. So it may take the Ottomans and the Dutch to beat this French army. I'm not entirely sure. I mean, it's not the strongest French army. I'd say that maybe be I mean, it depends on the player really. I would say that possibly is 1812, like France, or 1808 is pretty strong as well. But I don't know, we'll have to see. But you see the British are coming forward, the Redcoats are coming, they are on the march. It looks like it's going to be a lot of just general focus here. nothing interesting too much. And I can hear cavalry charging now. And it looks like we have some British cavalry that's about to get charged here. Yes, some more light dragoons. As they're being attacked by cavalry battalier here. They routed that light dragoon. And there is still a King's German Legion Hussar here. All the Ottoman infantry is starting to appear as well. We've got lots of Janissaries here. Good to see they're bringing them. Some relatively decent infantry actually being sent up here by the Ottomans. A lot of Janissaries actually. And we've got another artillery piece. Hopefully they defend this one. It's another howitzer. Oh, is it? I don't know actually. It's literally a 1.5. I presume that's not a howitzer. I can hear more cavalry going off. Oh no, the Ottomans are going to go in for this cavalry battalion here. Okay. Don't know how smart an idea that was. I'm not sure exactly. Oh, I don't know. Oh, the French sending in more. They're sending in hussars. Yeah, and they're going to rout this cavalry pretty quickly. Or at least send it running. The Ottomans need to be careful because their cavalry is pretty decent. Yeah, the first line battle is underway. Rhineland is now dueling with the British. Seems to be winning as well. I mean, the British unit here is already taking a fair amount of damage. Morale is already dropping a little bit. Certainly they're putting more guns onto the British than the British can put onto them. Got a nice Hessen unit here. In their blue and brown. It's kind of a nice mix. Kind of like that. Westphalia looks like he's going to come across as well. I mean, what have they just routed there? It looks like they've just routed a light dragoon. They tried to charge a square there. Yeah, I mean, this could be pretty dangerous for Britain. So if we just get up like the main map, you can see that Britain is currently being pinned in around this town here, as is the Ottomans. And Westphalia, while these two are like fighting off against France and Rhineland, Westphalia is going to come swinging in and do a lot of damage. Really, I think it's over here. Like the Netherlands, wherever he is, needs to get moving. We haven't really seen the Dutch army. He needs to get moving to actually relieve pressure on the Ottomans and actually like 2v1 the French. Because currently the Britain could be about to get 2v1. Westphalia has sent in, what have they sent in? Some grenadiers. And they're going in after some Turkish units in there. And they're battling in the windows there. And it looks like the Grenadiers will win that fight. Got Polish cavalry that went in. Not quite, and they look like they got routed by the dragoons of Britain. It's all kind of going off there. What's going off over here? Sweden is now shooting at some of these Polish units that look like they're trying to form up. They already routed some Polish infantry is not that great. There you go. I believe that is the farmhouse has been taken by Westphalia. Yep. That is now under the control. And as I said, there's a raging fight now going on in this town. Oh, and we've got Janissaries going into combat against Rhineland. And they're sending in more infantry as well. So the cavalry is going to come running through the infantry lines and it's going to go for the French infantry. But these guys can't form square actually. These grenadiers are line. Not surprised. Got more cavalry coming in. It's really like sending in all the cavalry. I think we've got Chevaliers here. I presume they were trying to duel with the Ottoman cavalry, but it's all stuck in with infantry. It's an absolute mess. That's what it is. Clearly the Janissaries prefer to fight in combat because they get a sword out. And they're absolutely routing these Confederation of the Rhine. They'd be better just gunning them down, I would have thought. But they're really dueling it out there. Got more, like, look at this. It looks like Sweden really is also Poland is also trying to dodge Sweden and trying to get involved in this this town fight. I guess you could call it. I mean, we've still got a fair amount of cav over here, which is pinning down a lot of infantry and cavalry. I would have thought even Sweden's infantry could beat that of the Poles. I mean, this is some pretty decent cavalry. This is infantry. Sorry, some pretty nice infantry. Lifeguards. Very nice volley there. And they're scaring off this cavalry, which is a huge unit, 120 odd men. I mean, cavalry in the town surely is not a good mix. Lots of Dragoon guards back here, though, waiting. 114 still. Looks like the Ottomans have been forced back from their initial position. Looks like, even though it's pretty costly for the Confederation around, they did manage to win this like melee fight here. Thin line of Brits that are holding this line now. I can hear cavalry going off. Okay, yeah, they're going after Westphalia's infantry and also the Polish cav. I'd form up if I was Westphalia. If I could form square, I'd be forming square right now. It looks like one of them can. Are they actually in combat here? They are slightly, I think. Someone got trapped. Britain needs to just fall back these thin lines of infantry. They're just being murdered. Like this 59th foot here. He's being murdered. I mean, he's just taking so many casualties. But they do what the British do well, and they carry on holding. They don't give in. 91st foot there. Looks like it's about to get charged by a lot of infantry here. Westphalia infantry looks like it's setting up around this building. Looks like they might be about to storm it. I'm not sure. Looks like they were. Polish cav here breaking though. Polish cavalry's not had a good start really to this battle. But yeah, the Dragoon guards are doing a lot of damage. I mean, this is a very elite unit for Britain. It's the most heavy cav they can bring, really. And they're now charging all this infantry here.
Our men are running.
And they're trying to rout some line infantry here of Westphalia. They may actually do it. And also here we go. The Dutch have now swung into action, sending in some light dragoons. They are being quickly dealt with by the French, but they're now sending in some of their these are Carabineers. Yet Carabineers now coming flying in. This is a pretty elite cav. So this may decide the cavalry battle on this left flank if you're looking from the French perspective. And if they could, they just rear charge that unit with the these dragoons, they could definitely rout them. Apparently not. Apparently they're not interested. What's going on here? Yeah, Britain is now fighting a battle here for this town. I'm not exactly sure who's going in for Westphalia. Westphalia has lost a lot of infantry though here fighting the British. They've had to send in dragoon and chevaliers here to stop the rot. And Britain has lost this this building here, so this flank now is under threat. They cannot hold this. Britain has got to retreat. He's got to find an out. He's got to find a way out. And it's going to probably be retreating towards the Ottomans. While that's been going on, Sweden looks like he's forced back the Poles. The Poles are kind of in a little bit of trouble. They're going to rely on some of Westphalia's infantry soon. We've got Ottoman cav coming in here against the Poles. Man, everyone's just everywhere. Literally, every single faction is fighting just about every single person. Apart from the Dutch, literally, I think everyone's clashed with everyone at this point. This cavalry looks pretty elite, though. Oh, this looks very elite cav for the Ottomans. They're not for lose this. I don't know, it's kind of being held in place.
The men are fatigued,
winning slightly.
rest a while.
The Ottomans now sending over infantry over here. It's a bad sign when the Ottomans are the ones you're relying on to hold a town. Janice, she's there holding. I mean, this seems like the strongest position. I don't know how many more troops the Ottomans have ready to commit. The Brits now here as well. So certainly, they hold this corner of the town now. They don't hold the rest. They've been forced out really. The Ottomans have got a few little assets here and there. The Ottoman general's actually just here. If Poland's cavalry just was aware and went after him, as it has done now, the Ottoman general is now in trouble. He's now in a lot of trouble, actually. He's down to 6 men, and he's probably about to die. And he's routing. And how did the Ottomans allow that to happen? They were doing so well everywhere else. They just let him get run down. He's still down to 6 men. I mean, they're now going to go into infantry here, which is always a good idea. Ottoman infantry is probably where they want to be going after, really, these Poles. This is the sort of stuff they want to be taking out. I mean, these Janissaries are going to be pretty nasty, I imagine, in combat. They decided to fall back. Maybe the smartest idea. They probably saw these Dragoon Guards coming up and had bad nightmares the last time they faced them. But in fairness, I mean, looks like both the Confederation and the Rhine. I mean, the Confederation and the Rhine are a bit spread out. They look pretty battered, as do Westphalia. Sweden with their relatively fresh army on the way. It's going to be a force to be reckoned with, put it like that. Still got a lot of cav though. Cuirassiers here. What have we got here? Hussars. This is Guard Chevaliers. Oh my god, they got some good cav of Westphalia. So it's going to be interesting, put it like that. Yeah, British line infantry here now dueling again. I think this is for its survival, really. This is like it for Britain in this front line here. I can hear more cavalry going off. Oh, it's not cavalry, it's infantry. Poland decided to go into combat with the Janissaries, which is an interesting choice. These are Semet Janissaries, so I presume these are just ones that have swords. I presume, from what I remember from vanilla, like from vanilla Napoleon, I'm pretty sure these guys just have like just swords. I may be wrong. But I need to be careful. Yeah, look at this. Poland's getting slowly surrounded. Got Sweden on his at his rear, and he's got the Ottomans and the British at his front. Where is the Dutch though? I mean, the Dutch now appearing. Here we go. The Dutch are appearing in a dueling with France. You got lots of infantry, lots of like colonial infantry. You got militia as well, which there will be a lot of. Go on, fire a volley or whatever you fire, militia. Certainly don't fire volleys. Oh, guns going off there. Very loud. That was very loud. Very, very nice though. Yeah, look at this. Look a little die. These Balic Janissaries are pretty good, I remember. Yeah, the looks like both Poland and all the Dragoon Guards gone. Poland and the Ottomans both broke. But yeah, they're gonna have to turn. Poland and the Westphalia, I think you have to face off here. And they're going to have to rely on like a bit of Westphalia and the Confederation of the Rhine to put to bed this resistance here. And you can see the Dutch are sending up more infantry up here. It's only national militia, but it's meant to fill in the gaps, to be honest. Looks like they're also going for Henry Clinton here. I don't know who's going for that. That might be the French. I haven't really seen any other artillery set up. Yeah, you can see that Rhineland's not even bothered to set his up yet. Westphalia may have set his up. I'm not entirely sure. He has, but it's against Sweden. So yeah, it must be the French firing at Henry Clinton. If they can rout him, then they're in a good spot to break through here, I would have thought. Looks like we've got French infantry going in over here. Grenadiers, the line going in. They're going in after national militia. That should be an easy victory. There you go, they won that one easily. There's another one along the line that they could probably take out, and if they can take these two out, that already Netherlands looks like he's in retreat a little bit. I think he's committed most of his cavalry early on that we saw. I don't know whether his carabiniers are still alive. I don't think they are. The French have like Hussars a long, long way away, and they got an infantry unit all the way over there. They got Polish Legion in there. Very interesting that they've got like infantry so far up. More grenadiers of the guard coming in. Looks like they're trying to form square, or I don't know. It looked like I don't think they were. It's just like a small section which like stays behind if you can charge. Look at this, like Belgian line infantry just getting destroyed right now by the line infantry of France. Yeah, that Dutch relief force is looking a little battered now. The general's been killed. Okay. So yeah, the Dutch general's gone. So the William of Orange is gone. He's been killed by this tiny little Hussar unit. Is what they were going for. So Holland's in a lot of trouble. Or the Netherlands, I should say, is in a lot of trouble. So where are they going to now actually be any use? Now maybe down to Sweden to rely on for to save the day a little bit. They got some CPI cavalry over here to support them. Swedes are now in combat. They need to be careful to Westphalia they don't start shooting their Polish allies. And it looks like Britain's retreated, and it's now the Dutch and the Ottomans that are now taking the front lines. National Militia already looking really beaten up. I wonder whether they were shot in the rear. But yeah, the French have won it. Like, are still battling in this forest, but I believe they're going to win. They've got more units committed in here now. Lots of units here breaking. I mean, what's left is this looks like there's this one national militia here. And like a line infantry, some colonial line infantry. They're forming square, bizarrely. Why they're forming square, I'm not entirely sure. There's no cavalry at all nearby. Just get them out of there. I mean, the Dutch right now, I don't think have any infantry. I mean, they've got a few infantry units back here. Oh, Hussars coming for the 6-pounder. That's not good. You say they've got a couple of units left here, but that's it. Like, the Dutch are looking pretty bare. They've got cavalry here. Why weren't they protecting their guns to cavalry? One job they have. Jaegers here. They look like they might be relatively elite. Yeah, they look like they might be relatively decent. They've got the 1.5 pounder here. That's trying to support against the French. Doing a little bit of damage here and there. It seems like the main fight's sort of over here now. I love the uniforms for Westphalia. These like artillery crew have got a really nice uniform. Very nice. And they're just, why are they firing at Jaegers? I don't know. Maybe they're trying to shoot the Dragoon unit behind. Got lifeguards down here though. Sweden's bought a really elite infantry army today. Often see them bringing like a more large and less elite infantry unit. And today Sweden has decided to go with a very elite. It looks like it's very elite. Everywhere I see keep looking as lifeguards. Maybe not then. Maybe I just keep looking at the same unit. There's lifeguards there. That's not lifeguards. That is lifeguards, I believe. They've got maybe 2 units of lifeguards. Maybe I exaggerated. Maybe it's not as elite as I thought. But they still look like they're fairly decent. I mean, they're maybe just... It's a good Sweden player. Some players just are good at playing some factions. Sweden seems to... I mean, in fairness, he's not really had a proper fight. He's fought Poland a little bit. He's now actually facing his first toughest foe, which is Westphalia.
Glorious victories is soon to be yours.
Apparently, glorious victory is soon to be someone's. But I don't know. It's fairly, like, well balanced right now. I mean... This may be slightly more in favour of the French because the Netherlands have just like got their ass handed to them. But I mean, the French don't look too healthy. Their units look pretty beaten up. It's pretty small. 114 is probably the most healthy unit alive. They got a lot of cavalry still, which is obviously very good. Infantry here is heading for the Dutch. We might want to deal with that. Whether the cavalry deals with it or the infantry, I don't know. Poland's lining up his Poland is lining up some shots here. This is not actually decent infantry at all. Personally, when I played Poland, I've like found that you can play Poland as like an infantry faction. Like often, like people say. Poland's strength is cavalry, and it is. Poland's strength is cavalry. I have seen, and I have played Poland quite a lot. And I've seen and also used an infantry army that can work really well for Poland. So they can go, I wouldn't say they can go toe-to-toe with everyone, but they could go toe-to-toe with Sweden, I would have thought. But maybe I'm just good at playing Poland. Might just be it. Yeah, it looks like they're gonna win this infantry fight with Poland currently. I mean, they are lifeguards, but I mean, They are putting their lifeguards in the front line, which, I mean, is a positive for the French and, like, their allies. Like, they're not throwing in, like, the Landwehr first, like these guys. They're throwing in their elites first, which is a bit of a strange one, but I guess they need the elites right now to turn this battle around. Got Bailiff Janissaries here as well. They seem like they've still been firing off or something. More Bailiff Janissaries over here. Good to see that the Ottomans have held on to some pretty decent units. They did bring a lot of Janissaries, and it's good to see. There's 7 Janissaries. Oh, they do have guns. Well, I think they just have to get a sword out as soon as they, like, change weapon. Seems like this is the case with a lot of Ottoman units. So here we go, bayonet charge from the French. So then this colonial infantry is going to stand. And it did not at all. I mean, the Dutch, to their credit, have rallied a fair amount of infantry. They've got like 6 or so units rallied. I mean, they are now able to defend their flank reasonably. I don't think they can stop the French though. Is that missile cav? It is. Don't know how good this is really. But they're chiefly firing off with some stuff. Oh yeah, this is not good. Look at this. Westphalia shooting on his own troops.
Our men are running.
Stop doing that, Westphalia. It's not healthy, and Rhineland's broken. Also set up some troops they broke. But Westphalia is taking the fight to Sweden, or he was. He's now changed his mind. He's taking the fight to Sweden over here, though. This is definitely where you want to take it. In the field, with the cavalry, with the cuirassiers, which have yet to see action. Look at these boys. They look exactly like French cuirassiers, actually. I mean, yes, Westphalia is a French creation, but I thought they would at least have got some different uniforms. Yeah, they actually are basically the same, I think. I think their helmets, yeah, the helmets are different, that's it. They're more Germanic looking. Their cuirass and their uniform everywhere else looks fairly French looking. I mean, maybe it's a little darker actually. So maybe it's not identically the same. The French have some units over here. They might, I don't know, might want to send them over. They're putting a 4-pounder right in the front of the lines. Not a bad idea. They're going to have to remove this Rhineland unit, move it along. Send it over here. Here we go. Looks like the Dutch are now dueling it with the French. And yes, smartly they're going to retreat. Probably is the best move. Don't think they can beat the French. I actually think it's just a delaying tactic at this point. Sweden is sending troops over though. Look at this. Sweden is sending like a lot of troops to the center. But then he's given up his left flank for this. So, I mean, it looks like it's just going to be a massive fight around this town. Around this church, for instance. At least you won't have to go far to bury all the troops. The graveyard's right here now. It looks like an absolute messy one. Oh, and we've got Dutch going in after a tiny little Hussar unit. I thought this was the general for France for a moment. I was getting excited. Somehow the Dutch have got infantry back here. This is a fresh Dutch unit. And Rhineland's back there with a tiny little unit as well. So the Dutch, maybe the Dutch aren't quite out. Maybe they have more over here. I don't know. This little unit's though snuck around the back. It's a Nassau unit. Maybe this is going to change the battle. It's going to come around and flank everything and cause all sorts of damage. No, I'm sure it won't, but you got to believe. Yeah, the French do. Putting holes into that Bailiff Janissary there. They're doing the same on this side. They've got a... Oh, we've got a little British unit coming up. Going to try and silence this Westphalian gun. And it broke on impact. But it has obviously meant that the guns can't really move anymore. I guess it's a small sacrifice. It's a shame that that's what Britain's become, just a little sacrifice. And over here, it's not looking good. I don't know if these Dutch units were actually already routing or what. The French are now peeling around. Well, these are the 6 original units. Whether those are the ones returned and then got routed instantly, I don't know. But these are the 6 the Dutch usually have on in action. And here we go, more Confederation of the Rhine going in after Turks. They rout the Turks, and they're going to carry on the charge. They could do into these Janissaries, you never know, they might break them. They can't form square. French cavalry going in, taking out the Swedish guns. Swedish guns that just look like they've just set up, ready to fire their first volley. And now we've got some CPI cavalry coming in, trying to rout the French. They may do so. More like Ottoman guns here. They're probably the next target. Just obliterated this unit here. I mean, they actually are putting big holes into this French infantry, the Legion Helvetii. A lot of these guys should get up, I would have thought. I don't know, a lot are actually staying down. That's a good hit, actually, by the Ottomans. The French may get put in their place here. I just like how the artillery crews there is just cruising on along. I don't know why this unit's forming square. There's no cavalry nearby. This is what the Dutch have been doing a few times. Just forming square for no reason. They're like, you're denying yourself a chance in the infantry fight now. This is a good unit. This is the A unit. I think it's going to be pretty decent. It's forming square. Yeah, it can form square. Cool. But the cavalry's all on the other side, though. And the cavalry, if it's going to go anywhere, it's going to go straight through the centre. Look at this national militia. Cavalry Battalion here from Aquitaine, doing glorious pieces of work. And yeah, they've routed that Jaeger. Like literally the entire left of the Dutch is just gone. Now the Swedes are having to take over. Looks like it's going to be the same here as well. This is how the Dutch lost their general, in fairness. They've routed the Swedes there. This is the Grenadiers, the line still very healthy. And they're just routing down the line. France is turning this battle around over here. And it looks like the German factions are quite happy just to sit back a little bit. I mean, it looks like the Ottomans are not going to let them. They're going to go straight for this gun, rout that. But yeah, the Germans could sit back almost and just wait for the French to appear in the rear of the British, Ottoman and Swedish lines. And the Dutch have got units over here as well. National Militia. Oh yeah, this is the units that they sent over ages ago. Really bizarre that they've got troops there when they their main army is just being crushed. I guess they're thinking, well, we can survive in some form. And these Swedes are in a lot of trouble. I mean, they sent over just like Landwehr and they sent over some like proper infantry as well. They're sending more Janissaries being sent to the rear, and there's the CPI cavalry here as well. The French still got healthy. They still got these healthy dragoons. Looks like more Swedish infantry being sent in this direction. I mean, there's not much more to give. This is, I mean, the Swedes are, yeah, got like a few lifeguard units, and they're always thinking about transferring them across. I mean, it is probably now very much in favour of the French and their allies. They've done a very good job, as you can see, encircling the allies almost here. Now going after the gun with the cavalry battalion. At least these Bailick Janissaries can form square. He was taking a house. Oh, the Confederation Rhine's taking a house. Okay, light fusiliers or something like that. Light fusiliers, okay. CPI Cav went in. That didn't seem to go so well for them. I don't know if this is actually that great CPI Cav. Did not get a great... I mean, it seemed to charge into the cavalry battalion and then get gunned down by French. But there you go. Looks like they're going to deal with the... they're going to deal with a small reserve force that's been sent forward. We've got light infantry here. These guys, yeah, just getting routed by dragoons. We've got here more Landwehr. The Swedes just need to stop, like, I don't know. Running for their lives is what I'd say, but they can't do that. Britain's holding here. I mean, barely, though. Honestly, for the Allies, I'm not really sure they've done wrong. I think Britain got left on his own for too long. He got 2v1'd at the beginning. And then the Netherlands clearly needed more support. I don't know whether it's just quality of players or what. Or generals been killed. Whose generals has been killed? Whose general just got killed off? Was it the British general? I'm going to presume it's Britain's general, but I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, I mean, Ottomans are a pretty good faction and can do pretty well. Their infantry is not too bad in combat. And so the Janitary ones aren't bad in like line battles either. They're getting like destroyed here now. It doesn't help that they've lost generals as well. Lots of generals got assassinated. Sweden unfortunately came maybe a little late and also didn't, like he was trying to put Poland in their place. And really, he should have been coming over to try and stop Westphalia. And yeah, I don't know. I don't really know like what they did wrong. I mean, the French and their allies did really well, though. Is all I can say. They did a really good job pinning down like Britain in that town, taking him out basically on his own. And then like the Dutch obviously had a long way to come to try and support. And then they met like a much stronger like foe, which was the French. They couldn't deal with the French. Look at this, lifeguards uniform in square. He's going to get charged by some infantry, some Nassaus. The general's been killed. Whose generals have been killed there? That must be the Swedish one, I would have thought. I don't know. He says killed their general and then I can't find the general himself. Is it the general in this lifeguard unit? I'm not entirely sure. To be fair, I've not seen a Swedish general all battle. Might be that was the case. Yeah, they are now routing basically everything. What's left? Oh, they still have this building. They're probably going to hold that. The British have got Highland Foot in there, so I mean, they'll certainly hold. I don't see why units like people do this. Like this Highland Foot could have been useful in the front lines a long time ago. Then you can retreat to the house and put units in it. But people seem to just quite like putting fresh infantry into houses and leaving it there for the entire battle. Which I know, yeah, like it's the whole point scoring thing. But I'd rather go out and try and beat my enemy than try and cheese it and just win the battle by winning it through points. Got Netherlands Grenadiers here. Whatever the hell are these guys? These Dutch Grenadiers that were just going to be needed. I presume they got routed a long time ago in the first fight. I don't know. It would have been so handy. There's like nothing left now. I'm not even entirely sure where. I think it's just this Highland Foot. There's a couple of British units out here that rallied. I'm just going to fast forward now because we're just really waiting on this Highland Foot to break in here, which it's doing gradually, but not quickly enough in my opinion. There we go. They're taking the building. And I think there's like one British unit out here somewhere that's like rallied. Oh, here it is. Yeah. Since some Gloucestershire Foot that's going to form square. Please no. Just let the Cuirassiers do their thing. I think if you charge this, you'd probably break it. There, they reform line. Oh. Hopefully they just got told to reform line and they broke like that. And there you go. At least the Westphalian Cuirassiers got to see some action. I think that's it now, looking at the map. Should have in the moment. Yep, there we go. A victory. So yes, there you go. This was a great victory for the French and their allies. They did a really good job, to be fair. Yeah, none of the allied forces got even close to... well, they got close to 1,000, but none of them got to 1,000, unfortunately. But yeah, well done to our gens, to Travis, to Kingston, and to Revan, who were playing as the French and their allies. I mean, Kingston was the one that sent the same, playing as Westphalia. Did a pretty good job getting over 1,100 kills. Travis as well, getting 1,100 kills as his German ally there. And Argens did a really good job as the French. He just cleaned up those Dutch. Lost the least amount of men as well. And well done to Revan as well. Did get the least amount of kills, which is obviously probably acceptable playing as a mainly cavalry faction. So yeah, well done to all of them. Unfortunately, yeah, King Baby Bob, Mr. Cookie, Kylie, and Ryan could not gain victory. I mean, King Baby Bob just got 2v1'd and just like should have retreated quicker. He brought a really small army as well, actually the smallest by anyone on the battlefield. Smaller than the Poles, which is kind of a concern when you're bringing when you've got a smaller army than the Poles. But yeah, well done to all the players. It was a really good battle. It was nice to see that just a battle basically just fought over the entire like this one town. But there you go, there are some kills. 101 was the best that Kingston got for his line infantry. But yeah, not like some pretty decent kills, but nothing too insane. But anyway, if you enjoyed this battle, then do remember to leave a like, subscribe if you're around here, and a comment to show your support. And I will be back soon with more NTW 3, so make sure to hit that notification bell as well, so you know when the next one is out. And until next time, Legionnaires, I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.